When you come into a meeting with that type of respect, with that type of knowledge, they will instantly trust you. They will respect for taking the time to have done that. Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you the step-by-step process that I follow to prepare for meetings so that you absolutely crush it in your next meeting. There's going to be 4 sections to this video. The first section is going to be collecting info from the client prior to the meeting, and I'm going to be showing you how to do that. Number 2 is about the founder, getting crystal clear on who the founder is, what he or she values, what the code of ethics is like, what their principles are, their background info, etc., etc. Number 3 is going to be about the brand. Just getting crystal clear as well about the mission of the brand, what they stand for, what they've set out to achieve. And finally, we're going to be talking about the business. How do they make their money? What are the lines of business that they've got? What are some of their roadblocks? What are some of their biggest bottlenecks? What are some of the competitors in their field? It's going to be an incredibly juicy video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and let's get right into it. Now, before I get into the first point, I just want to very briefly talk about the importance of preparing for the meeting. You guys have to understand that you've done all the hard work, which is actually landing the meeting, right? And it's actually shocking to me that people may have spent following up with that person to just land the meeting, hours on end. Even not even following up, even like sending, hundreds and hundreds of emails or messages on LinkedIn to just get that meeting. And what I don't understand is they will spend 10 minutes, 5 minutes just prepping the meeting, and in some cases don't even prepare for it. And that is absolutely preposterous. If you get that meeting, if you land that meeting, not only is it just disrespectful, quite honestly, to hop on a meeting and not have the information and the background knowledge that I'm going to be showing you how to get in this video, but also it's really drastically going to decrease your conversion on that meeting. The less you know about the client, the brand, and the business, the fewer chances you have of closing them, simply because you don't know how to tap into their pain points. You don't know how to trigger their emotions because you don't know what they value. You don't know some of the problems that they're facing. Sure, you can get all this information in the meeting, and I still do that, but I want to have such an incredible and rich background knowledge so that during the meeting, it's just confirming the evidence and also diving deep and zooming into topics and areas that I want to zoom in that are actually going to allow me and help me close that meeting. I can't stress enough how important this is, and that you follow this process before you jump on a call with a prospect. What I recommend you guys do is you get a notebook just like this one. You get a notebook and you actually handwrite all the stuff that we're going to be walking through. It's nothing like handwriting stuff to really just make sure that it's ingrained in your brain. Putting thoughts and research to paper is just the most effective way of remembering stuff. And it's also the most effective way of digesting all the information and the background info that I'm going to be walking you through in just a second. And so, yeah, I strongly recommend you get one of these notebooks. I'm actually going to show you without getting obviously into it, obviously for confidentiality reasons. But this is just to give you an example of the prep that I did for my last sales call. It was around a page and a half, and then the final notes are the notes that I took during the meeting. But you can just see the amount of information that I gathered before the meeting. That's just to put into perspective how detailed you can get with the notes and the process that I'm going to be giving you. And this meeting actually went really well, and I'm actually having a second touch point with them on Thursday. We'll probably be moving forward with them. But that's just to give you an idea of how detailed this can get. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's get into the first part. First step is actually gathering information from them prior and before the meeting. For the next steps, I'm actually going to be diving into my computer and walking you through and screen recording how I would approach it. But for this step, all you have to do is make sure that when they book in a call with you, on your scheduler, and I recommend Acuity for this. You guys can check out the link in bio. But basically, when they book in a call, you want to make sure that you have a bunch of questions. Basically, a very short survey asking for information on them. Here you guys can see some screenshots of that, of some of the prospects that went through that survey. Now, not all the prospects that I jump on calls with actually go through that survey. I see a different funnel that I have. Some prospects will directly book in a time and they won't have to fill in the survey. But the prospects that are going through a different sales funnel, a different sales process, I always have them fill in that survey when they book in a time. With Acuity, you can do this very, very easily. I'm not sure with other scheduler softwares like Calendly if you can do this, but with Acuity, one of the reasons why I love it is that you can actually create that survey. And I have them go through that survey, and it gives me a ton of information on the business that I can then use and collect and write it down in my notebook so that I'm better prepared for the meeting. If that's not the case and they haven't gone through that survey, then I make sure that the time and energy that I put into the other steps that I'm going to be sharing with you on the computer just now, I make sure that I put even more time and energy into those steps. That is the first step. The second step is all about the founder, all about the person that you are going to be jumping on a call with as well. If that's not the founder, then it's completely fine. But you still want to know about the founder, even if you're jumping on with the CMO. You want to know as much information though about the person that you're speaking to. and that will give you an incredible advantage. And for this, we're gonna be jumping on my computer, so I'll see you guys in there. So guys, let's get right into it. And the first section is about the founder. We wanna just garner as much information about the founder of the brand as we possibly can, and especially the person that we are gonna be hopping on a call with. Basically wanna know as much about that person as we possibly can. And that is what we're gonna be doing in this first section of preparing for the call. If you guys don't have any information or a survey like the one I showed you previously. So the brand that we're going to be picking as an example is Osea. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of them. They're in the cosmetic space. If I were you and you're watching this video, I would not reach out to them. They're already doing a pretty good job with their advertising, but hey ho, you decide on that. So here is what we are going to be doing to know as much about the founder as we possibly can. And so the first thing that we're going to be doing is just hopping on their website and looking at the About Us section. And so in their case is this section, Family First, right? And here they tell us all about their story, right? Founded by a mother-daughter duo, Jennifer and Melissa Palmer. And basically what I would personally do if I'm jumping on a call with Melissa Palmer, I would basically consume all this information and consume as much as I can about Jennifer or Melissa Palmer, right? I would just know as much as possible about them, know what their interests are, know what made them start the brand, just know and consume as much information as you possibly can, so that when you actually jump on a call with them, you know as much about the founder as about the brand. And especially in this time and age, guys, where most of the brands that are having a huge success in the e-com space, especially if you guys are doing e-com, but most of the brands that are having huge success are the brands that are tying their brand to a founder story. That is very powerful, because at the end of the day, humans connect to humans. And so most brands that you're reaching out to, especially if they're e-commerce and they're doing a good job, they will have a founder story tied to them. And so in this case, what I would do is I would literally take my pen and write as much about Melissa as I possibly can. So that is what I would do using the website. Then the next thing that I would do is I would hop over on LinkedIn and I would go on the company website, on the company page. And so I would then hop on people, and what will happen is we've got Melissa Palmer here. So we would just click here and her LinkedIn page will come up. And basically the use of this is, I mean, she doesn't have a very good description. You know, she basically says that she's passionate about growing innovative wellness brands. This doesn't really tell us much. A lot of the people that I've actually jumped on calls with, they actually have an incredible LinkedIn description that gives me so much information about them, right? And so what I would personally do is on their LinkedIn page, especially if you've gotten the meeting with them through LinkedIn and you're probably a connection, you'll be able to see their articles, you'll be able to see their posts. What I actually do before the meeting, as you guys know, I like to prepare my meetings as much as I possibly can. To be honest, more than anyone that I've heard about in the SMMA space, simply because I think that is by far the biggest leverage when it comes to signing clients. Not so much a sales call script, although it really does help, and not so much about a sales hack. It's just knowing more about the founder, more about the brand than anyone else. And when you come into a meeting with that type of respect, with that type of knowledge, they will instantly trust you. They will respect for taking the time to have done that. And it'll just be a great look. And so what I tend to do is I actually check out all their activity, right? So the great thing about LinkedIn is they will tell you what the things that they've liked, right? It's kind of like Facebook back in the old day. They will also tell you obviously the articles that they've written, the posts that they've done. And so I'll consume all the content that they've put out on LinkedIn, and that will give me a very crystal clear idea of the things they value, the lens with which they see the world, etc., etc. And so that is what I will do with the activity. I will first look at the description, I will then look at the activity, then I will go ahead and check out the experience. And so you might think that the experience doesn't tell us much, but I actually want to know where they were at, what they were doing before Osea. Without actually sounding very, stockish, I will make reference to it. For example, if they have a background in tech or website design or even like agency, advertising, whatever it is, I will find a way to make a connection to it just so that they make sure that I've done my homework and that I've really come prepared to the meeting. So as we can see here, she has been CEO at Hypnotica Corp. So what I would do is I would actually check out what Hypnotica is, because quite clearly she was actually CEO of this company while she was also running Osea. And she's been with Osea for 21 years, which is actually crazy. And so that is on the experience and the education. The education, to be honest, doesn't really tell me much, although she actually studied feminist studies. So that actually tells us a lot about the type of person that she is, and on the type of things that she values, right? If you resonate with those values, you can bring it up in the meeting, etc., etc. We're just trying to gather as much as possible here. Final thing that I will do is I will take a look at their interest, and this will actually tell me so much about them, right? It will tell me the type of influencers that she likes, right? So Ray Dalio, Deepak Chopra, Ariana Huffington, very good choices here. She has read The Third Door, which is an amazing book. Companies, Tom's, Sue, Humnotica, Four Seasons, Milk Plus Honey, OSHA, obviously, Affiliate Summit. Could mean that they're looking into an affiliate program. Domino Media, what is that? Is that their current marketing agency? String Story Media, is that their current creative agency? As you guys can see, like, this gives us so much information, right? And this is just a complete different approach. And this is you respecting their time. But not only that, this is helping you make the most out of the meetings, because you're coming in with so much background info about what she resonates with, about what she likes, about her past experience, about the current stuff that they're working on. For example, this could literally mean that they've got these agencies handling some of their media side of things. This could literally mean that she's got, she's looking into affiliate programs. And so that is that. I really hope, by the way, that Melissa Palmer does not watch this video, because it does seem a bit like a stalker. But that is what I would do when it comes to LinkedIn and when it comes to about the founder. And the next thing that I will do is I will hop on Google and I will literally just type Melissa Palmer. Okay. I hope you guys can see how basic this is, but the vast majority of people don't even take the time to do this, right? So first of all, I will check out her Facebook page, just to see if she's posted anything there that could give me a bit of a clue into what she's like. And then what I tend to do is, the images, to be honest, don't worry me that much. And then what I tend to do is I go on news. As we can see here, we've got an article that's pretty recent, and so I would open that up. Manufacturing in China got you down. Make a run for the border. And so this talks about coronavirus, and Melissa is featured here. And so, yeah, well, quite clearly, this is very recent. This is very time sensitive. You guys are watching this a year later. We're obviously going through a coronavirus crisis. And so this is very time sensitive. And if I'm jumping on a call with Melissa, I want to know what she's up to in regards to coronavirus. So yeah, that is what I would do for the first section about the founder. The second section is all about the brand. And so much like what we did with Melissa, what I would do in this case is, instead of basing it around a person, I would base it around the brand. And so I would take a look at their commitment. I would take a look at their ingredients. I would mostly go on their, for example, I would take a look at all this quality, sustainability, some of the causes that they work for. All this stuff is very, very important to them. And so that is what I would take a look at. I would then take a look at their homepage so that I get a good idea of what they value the most. Usually, yes, as we can see here, they've included the things that they value the most. And as we can see here, a family passion. This is really, something that they take great pride in. Good for you, good for the earth, results you can see. So all this stuff is very, very important for them. You want to make sure that you're featuring all this in whatever you write. There's something about handwritten notes that is much more powerful. It makes you really remember what you are seeing. Putting thoughts to paper is just so powerful. And so that is what I would do on the about the brand side of things. What I would even go as far as doing is maybe taking a look at their blog and their careers. And so on their blog, we can see, I would honestly just take a look at their most recent blogs just to see some of the things that they are talking about as of late. And then once that is done, I would then hop over onto OSHA again, and then I would just take a look at their description. Usually this is the most bite-sized kind of mission that they have. And so that gives you a very clear idea of what they value in just a short sentence. And then I would go on the about, and this will give you a much longer description of what they value. And also you want to make sure that you know the amount of people that are in the company, when they were founded, where they're located. So for example, their base, you want to make sure that you know where their factories are. You want to make sure that you know where their headquarters are. You just want to have that kind of information. And so as we can see here, they have the headquarters in Malibu, and they take great pride in being from Malibu, and they have this number of employees. So that is that for LinkedIn. And the final thing that I will say, I'm sure you guys, some of you have guessed it, I would just put OSHA, Malibu, and then I would just do a very quick Google News search. And so Here we can see that they are looking at creating a vegan box, and so they have part of their business go through there, and they also have if we go back, they also have a new cleanser, Victoria Beckham, for example. That could be something very very cool to talk about. You guys just see here, like, this is very valuable information. For example, they were featured in Forbes. You really don't want to miss that, etc, etc. And here we've got another story of Melissa, as CEO of Organic Skincare, Osha. Tells us also. I would actually take a look at this whole interview to really garner a ton of information about Melissa. And so that is what I would do on the brand side of things, right? If you guys just read the first page of the Google News, that will give you a very good foundation for knowing what the whole brand is about. And one of the things that I want you to keep in mind is I'm not talking about knowing the brand on a superficial kind of shallow level, right? We want to dive really deep, right? And that is what's going to give you incredible success in those meetings. Another thing is, don't take like 2 hours, right, to prep for a meeting. Like, usually this process takes me around 30 minutes, and you don't want to drag it out to an hour or 2 hours, right? Sometimes I even do it in 15, but that's because, you know, it comes kind of natural to me at this point. Final thing that we want to do is just take a look at their social media. If you guys haven't already, take a look at Instagram, Facebook, and also see if they're running Facebook ads, right? Also see what are the advertising platforms that they've tapped into so far. So on Facebook, if you haven't sent them out a video audit going over their advertising or the ads that they're running, you really want to make sure that you know whether they're running Facebook ads or not. Basically, whether they're already carrying out your service. And that is one of the things that you really need to do before you jump on a call and you actually offer it to them. Final part is about the business. So we want to make sure that we know all the ways that they're making money. So are they selling through retail, e-commerce, wholesale? What are all the avenues that they're tapping into? What is the sales process? What is the sales funnel? What is their core offer? What is the front end offer? Do they have a back end of emails, etc, etc? First thing that I do is very simple. I just go on their homepage and I look at where they're driving most of the traffic. And so here we can see that they're driving most of the traffic to the Winter Skin Saviors. And then we've got the best sellers, I'm assuming here. And then they have a skincare quiz, right? So that might be a front end offer that they're currently using. One of the ways that you can actually see the front end offer is go on their Facebook ad library and see where they're driving all the traffic to if they're running Facebook ads, right? See where the link takes you. And if it takes you to, for example, the skincare quiz, then that probably means that they are using that as a front end offer and that is actually really valuable to them. And so that is what I would do. As we can see here, we can also see that Vegas Nerve Oil is a product that they value. And then the next thing that I will do is I will basically note down all the product categories that they currently have. Final thing that I will do is I will take a look at their average price point. So I will take a look at what is their lowest price product and what is their highest value product. And also if they have any type of discovery sets or any type of sets, right, or bundles, right? I want to make sure that I get kind of crystal clear and I already start formulating a sales process that could really work for them. And so that's what I want to do. Final thing that I want to do is I want to diagnose two things. Their landing page, what is it looking like? Do they have landing pages or just product pages? What does that look like? And the final thing is, do they have email marketing in place? How is their backend of emails? Obviously, if I'm a bit tight on time, then I won't actually be able to funnel hack them and see what their email marketing is like. But if I do have time, I will literally add products to the cart. Do I get an add to cart email? Do I get an add to cart reminder? If I don't get an add to cart email, that obviously means that they don't even have a discovery flow. If they don't have like the most basic stuff, that means that they don't really have the more complex stuff, right? And so I also do that. Now, I offer paid ads, I offer Facebook ads, so that really doesn't tie into my service, but I really just want to diagnose where they're at from just a cohesive 360 lens, right? Are they actually taking their digital growth seriously? Do they actually have a good vessel that we can take and then we can really scale very aggressively if they obviously have the budget for it? And so that is what I would do. The final thing that I did not mention is I also make a list of their closest competitors. So who are their closest competitors? What are they doing? How are they doing things better than them? What type of things are they doing or are they known for that I can maybe use in the meeting or that I can maybe mention in the meeting so that they know that, first of all, I'm aware of their niche, I'm aware of their industry, and also I tap into their pain points, because if their competitors doing it and they obviously know about their competitor, then that's really gonna get their attention, right? That final list of competitors would be the final thing that I do to prep for a client meeting. And honestly, guys, after you've gone through this process, which should, as I said, we should take you 15 to 30 minutes, you will be extremely prepared for a client meeting. You'll be extremely prepared to just crush it. And that is the point we wanna be at. We hop on a call, and what I can tell you also is this will give you so much confidence, because essentially you will feel like you almost know as much about the brand as the person that you're speaking to, as the CEO, as the founder. What I can tell you is they will see that from a mile away. Hope you enjoyed this video. It was a bit of a different style. So if you found it of value, go ahead and drop a like. It really helps a lot with the algorithm, and I would really appreciate it. Also, leave down below any comments, any questions you may have on the video, and I'll be checking those out. The final thing is, guys, go ahead and check out the link in bio. That is a link to my free Facebook group community, the Client Closers, group of like-minded people looking to scale their agency and level up in life. Honestly, an amazing community. And so go ahead and check it out, and go ahead and apply. And as always, guys, hope everything's going well in your agency journey, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.